Welcome, travelers, young and old, from near and far. Join me as we continue the tale of Finwë Indarys and his new life here in Morrowind. When we left Finwë, he was beginning to establish himself among the people of Morrowind, or at least the people of Balmora, who were members of the Imperial Guilds. Recently, Finwë had been entrusted with a Fighters Guild contract to eliminate the agents of House Telvanni, one of the major political forces here in Morrowind, from the Caldera Ebony Mine. He was, however, not told who the holder of the contract is. Finwë has also gained rank in the Mages Guild, and has come to find that academic intrigue is a universal constant. But underneath all of this, Finwë has been feeling a growing connection to this strange land, and his clan's connection to it. Perhaps it's the intrigue he's become employed in, which so much resembles the work of his past life. Or perhaps it's something deeper still. And with that, welcome back to the tale of Finwë Indarys. With me, Dr. Morrowind. If you haven't yet, please be sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. The only thing that I'll be bothering you with is the tale of Finwë Indarys, so also be sure to click the bell icon. So if you remember from the last chapter in Finwë's life, we had just gained enough experience to level up, but we need a little bit more training in personality and speed, both of which are offered in the Thieves Guild. The Thieves Guild, by the way, which could tell us more about the Kimona Tong. But maybe it's because of the proximity. Finwë's also just strangely drawn to the temple.
What is this about?
And yet, at the same time, somewhat repelled by it as well. You probably recognize that line if you played, what is it? The, Legacy of Kain series, which, by the way, Camden and Tanner, that is one of the only games that I think we both played, and I didn't steal your shit to play it. Oh, wow, look at that night sky above the temple. And the music that goes with it. Ah, yes. But, attracted and yet repelled. And I think what'll tip the balance is talking to Caius. Because Caius knows, like, basically everything, it seems like. There were a lot of topics that I feel like we didn't explore with him, and so we should. We definitely also need to make sure that we ask people. You don't have anything to say, Lendress Bilal. Interesting.
Speak, traveler.
We also... So we're going to go to the Thieves Guild first. We need to go to the Thieves Guild to go ahead and ask about the Kimona Tong agents, find out where they are. I suspect they're over there where those two guys were on the roof. Over there. Right? And then, I suspect the Thieves Guild will offer training in various things that have speed as the major component. And what else do we need? Personality. Training in speechcraft or mercantile, I think. We'll do
stand
that.
about. Get moving.
So we're going to go ahead. We're going to get all the training we need. We're going to find out some information. Sorry about going so fast, by the way. I can't decide if the mouse sensitivity is too high. I think what I just need to do is be more aware of when I'm indicating to just go a little slower. But anyway, over... what was I trying to say? My apologies. Anyway, we're going to go in here. We're going to go ahead and get the training we need to effectively level up. We're going to find out about the Kimona Tong, and then we're going to go visit Caius, drop off our alchemy, and sleep. Yes, we are. Habisi. Habisi. Did you get to Nano Mana key for Habisi? Do you have anything more to say about that? No, I don't have the key. Habisi has no patience, clan mother. Has no patience, clan mother. Bring the key to Habisi. Why did you call me clan mother? That's really, really odd. Anyway, Habisi, actually, what I wanted to know is tell me about the bad people. Journal updated. If the bad people you are looking for are Kimona Tong and they're in Balmora, you'll find them at the Council Club. Council Club Corner Club. That's the local Kimona Tong hangout. The scout would be Vandusa Sarithion, Mandarasa Eren would be the pawnbroker. The thief would be Madral Thirdithithith. Sorval Trendril is the savant, and Theleninin Velis would be the smith. Oh, God, I didn't realize her eyes were closed. I fucking hate when that happens.
Good hunting.
Yes. How did you know? How did you know that's what I was asking about? BC. Jumping for joy that I now know my targets. Wait a minute. Let's look at the journal real fast. Tell me about that Narano Manor key. You said that BC says the minion might have it. And he's at the council club. Ooh, wait a minute. Is he also listed on this kill list? Sovor Thrandril, and Sovor Thrandril is listed in the Kimona Tong. Sorry, I'm going back through this. I couldn't remember the first name I said. And he is listed... Yes, that's him. All right. We don't have to actually try and get the key from him. We're going to go ahead and take the brute force option. And we're just going to go ahead and fucking kill him. But first, leveling up in Caius. And then...
My prices are the best in town.
I feel like we should kill those people before going to the temple, maybe? I don't know if walking into the temple covered in blood, those correct.
What Khajiit do for you?
Anyway, Faeryn, can you train me in personality things? You can train me in speechcraft, mercantile, speechcraft. Awesome. What is my level in that? Personality, I need one more. Training, speechcraft, perfect. All right, and now I just need something with speed, I believe. Oh my god, I bet it's all the fucking Lalu people that do training and speed. Oh, bastard. Acrobatics is strength. And I know he doesn't do... I'm not even going to waste my time. I know he doesn't do speed. That Argonian in the corner. It always looks like he has something useful, but until later, he does not. He's just a little bastard. Agility, agility, strength. Damn it.
Are you here about your wounds? You should find healing.
Oh, shush. Oh, wait.
I see.
Caius. I bet Caius, or one of these Blades trainers. One of the Blades trainers. I wish I would have actually taken note what they trained in. I was more interested in the free shit that they were giving me. I feel like that's how it is with any business, though. I don't care what the business does. I just want the free shit that I can get and then walk away. What do you got for me? All magic, because you're the high elf. What spells do you have? I didn't even ask last time. The 6th barrier. Holy shit. I mean, it'll cost like 1/5 of my magicka, but that would be the equivalent of me just putting on heavy armor by casting that. Wow. I can dispel. I only have 700 gold, though. I can't really afford to pay for any of this, to be honest. I still need one more jumping for joy at the idea of coming back here for, By the way, if you're just listening to this, the jumping for joy bit, I keep accidentally hitting the jump button, which is right next to the move forward button. So every time I accidentally jump and I say jumping for joy, that's what it is. Rithleen, what training do you offer? Agility, strength, fuck. Ugh. All right, Caius. I feel like Caius definitely offered hand-to-hand training. And if hand-to-hand isn't speed, I'm going to lose my shit. Maybe there's something poetic about sleeping in this skooma den as well. Sniff, sniff, indeed, Caius. Look at me when I'm talking to you. What do you train in? Hand-to-hand. That's what I needed. And he does speechcraft. I'll remember that. All right. 10 strength, 10 speed, 10 personality. We'll get to this in a minute, Caius. But first, it's 10 a.m. All right. We're essentially just going to be whenever you level up, whenever you're ready to level up, the game says you should rest and meditate on what you're learning. We're going to rest for 1 hour because it's 8 a.m. We've been in Morrowind for just over a week. We're going to meditate here with our Blades Master. He's going to stare at us awkwardly, but you know what? He said we can use his house, so fuck him. All right. Now, you've ascended to level 2. You realize that all your life you have been coasting along as if you were in a dream. Suddenly, facing the trials of the last few days, you have come alive. So, as you can see here, there's our various attributes. We have 3 little, tokens, I guess. And, there's multipliers, and those are determined by, like I was saying, the skills we leveled up. There's nothing you can do to get a multiplier for luck. You just have to constantly trickle shit into that. But we're obviously taking strength. I think that'll give us another 25 carry capacity. We're going to take speed because we are done walking at this speed. And we're going to take personality because we were already so far along in that I wasn't going to waste a multiplier. We have enough intelligence where I didn't need to focus on that. All right, Caius, you grizzled old bastard. All right, orders first, and then I got some questions about, the temple. You don't know anything about the temple, or you're not willing to tell me. All right, tell me my orders. Ready for orders? Good. Go talk to Hasfat and Tabalis at the Balmora Fighters Guild. Ask him what he knows about the Nerevarine secret cult and the 6th House secret cult. You'll have to do him a favor first, probably an ugly favor, but do it, and then get the information from Antabalis and report back to me. Continue. By the way, Hasfat is a student of Morrowind history. Take the chance to get a little education, and I have a few history books here. Help yourself. You're welcome to them. No point in being a part of history if you're too ignorant to understand it. Have truer words ever been spoken, Caius? Very nice. Very nice. What can you tell me about Morrowind history? Jeanette Cite's little book is a good place to start. I have a copy here. Take it. You might also look for On Morrowind, the Imperial Province, by Ermanaway of Sunhold. So, you see that Ermanaway? 1, the way bit is definitely a Tolkien reference. 2, you can see how Finwë Indorys' first name reflects his Altmer heritage because it's a standalone without last name, Altmer sounding high name, and then you get the Dark Elf clan name associated with it. Sorry if you could hear me pounding my hand on the desk as I was explaining that. Alright, I'm going to give you the Cliff Notes version of A Short History of Morrowind, because they do a good job of introducing these books so you do understand your place in this history. So, where are we? A Short History on Morrowind. From the introduction. Led by the legendary prophet Vela, the ancestors of the Dunmer, exiles from the Altmer cultures in present-day Somerset Isles, came to the region of Morrowind. In earliest times, the Dunmer were harassed or dominated by Nord Sea raiders. When the scattered Dunmer tribes consolidated into the predecessors of the modern Great House clans, they threw out the Nord oppressors and successfully resisted further incursions. The ancient ancestor worship of the tribes was in time superseded by the monolithic tribunal temple theocracy, and the Dunmer grew into a great nation called Resdayn. Resdayn was the last of the provinces to submit to Tiber Septim. Like Blackmarsh, it was never successfully invaded and was peacefully incorporated by treaty into the Empire as the province of Morrowind. Almost 4 centuries after the coming of the legions, Morrowind is still occupied by Imperial legions, with a figurehead Imperial king. Though, The Empire has reserved most functions of the traditional local government to the ruling councils of the 5 great houses. On Vardenfell district. So that's the district we're in. This is good. Like, I'm sorry that I'm actually reading all of this, but in this one book, if you're listening to this, this is your primer on, if we're interacting with the temple, the great houses, like anything here, why the Imperial guilds are here. Like, this one short book is all you need to at least have the base where me talking about joining the Imperial guilds makes a little bit more sense. And it's introduced now because you had time to, I'm talking about the Imperial guilds and you see this culture, but no one's ever, concisely talked about it. So that's why we're reading this. I'm getting really excited because I'm looking at it now wow, I could not have done a better summary myself on, the short history of Morrowind. Anyway, continuing. On Vardenfell district. In the third era of the year 414, Vardenfell territory, previously a temple preserve under Imperial protection, was reorganized as an Imperial provincial district. Vardenfell had been maintained as a preserve administered by the temple since the Treaty of the Armistice, and except for a few great house settlements sanctioned by the temple, Vardenfell was previously uninhabited and underdeveloped. But when the centuries-old temple ban on trade and settlement of Vardenfell was revoked by the King of Morrowind, it just says revoked by King of Morrowind. That was not my fault. A flood of Imperial colonists and Great House Dunmer came to Vardenfell, expanding on old settlements and building new ones. The new district was divided into Redoran, Hlaalu, Telvanni, and Temple districts, each separately administered by local house councils or temple priesthood, and all under the advice and consent of Duke Dren and the district council in Ebonheart. So Duke Dren is imperial, but everything is local under him, and he just gives nominal consent so long as it doesn't violate imperial interests. Local law became a mixture of house law and imperial law in house districts, jointly enforced by house guards and legion guards, with temple law and imperial law enforced in temple districts by ordinators. The temple was still recognized as the majority religion, but the worship of the 9 divines and the imperial cult was protected by the legions and encouraged by imperial cult missions. The temple district included the city of Vivec, the fortress of Ghostgate. Ooh, I want to visit Ghostgate. That's impressive. I want to see what the mods have done there. And all the sacred and profane sites, including those blighted areas inside the Ghost Fence, and all unsettled wilderness areas on Vardenfell. In practice, this district includes all Vardenfell not claimed for Redoran, Hlaalu, or Telvanni. The temple stubbornly fought all development in their districts and were largely successful. So the temple basically owns everything at this point that's not built up. So the moment you walk outside and it's not already claimed, it's not technically available for claim because it's the temple. But their whole thing is not developing it as a preserve, I guess. House Hlaalu, so they're the ones who run the town we're in combination with imperial colonists, embarked on a vigorous campaign of settlement and development. In the decades after reorganization, Balmora and the Acadian Isles regions have grown steadily. Caldera and Pelagiad are completely new settlements. Wow. And we'll be going to both of those. And all Legion forts were expanded to accommodate the larger garrisons. House Telvanni, normally conservative and isolationist, has been surprisingly aggressive in expanding beyond their traditional tower villages. Disregarding the protests of the other houses, the Temple, the Duke, and the District Council, Telvanni pioneers have been encroaching on the wildlands reserved to the Temple. The Telvanni Council officially disavows responsibility for these rogue Telvanni settlements, but it is an open secret that they are encouraged and supported by ambitious Telvanni mage lords. Under pressure from the temple, conservative House Redoran has steadfastly resisted expansion in their district. As a result, House Redoran and the Temple are in danger of being politically and economically marginalized by the more aggressive expansionist Lalu and Telvanni interests. So there's 3 of the 5 houses here on Vardenfell. You have Lalu, which is working for the Imperials and is like reaping the rewards. Telvanni, who just disregard everybody. And then the Temple, the Redoran, who largely side with the Temple and don't expand their lands. But unlike the Temple, House Redoran only has their house lands that they're not expanding. So I suppose if you were to rank them in order of strength right now, it would probably be Lalu, Telvanni, and Redoran. Although you could debate those first 2, but I don't think anyone would argue Redoran at this point is the most politically powerful. So, we're on page 8. The Imperial administration faces many challenges in Vardenfell District, but the most serious are the Great House rivalries, the animosity from the Ashlander nomads, internal conflict within the Temple itself, and the Red Mountain Blight. Struggles between Great House, Telvanni, and Imperial interests to control Vardenfell's resources could at any time erupt into full-scale war. Ashlanders raid settlements, plunder caravans, and kill foreigners on their wild lands. The Temple has unsuccessfully attempted to silence criticism and calls for reform within its ranks. But the most serious are the plagues and diseased hosts produced by the blight storms sweeping out from Red Mountain, the mountain that dominates the center of this island. Vardenfell and all Morrowind have long been menaced by the legendary evils of Dagoth and his ash vampire kin, dwelling beneath Red Mountain. For centuries, the Temple has contained this threat within the Ghost Fence, but recently the Temple's resources and will have faltered, and the threat from Red Mountain has grown in scale and intensity. If the Ghost Fence should fail, and hosts of blighted monsters were to spill across Vardenfell's towns and villages, the Empire might have no choice but to evacuate Vardenfell District and abandon it to disease and corruption. I want to say that was like maybe a 4 to 5 minute reading, but that was just packed to the gills with good Morrowind lore vitamins. Thank you, Caius. Now, do you have anything of use to tell me? No. Maybe. Like, come on now. There's got to be something. Maybe I'm just clicking on something. Fighters Guild, freelance work, guild guide, House Lalu, Imperial Legion, little advice. About doing quests for factions. Yeah. Don't try and do everything at once. Nerevarine. What is the Nerevarine? Some Dunmer believe that an orphan and an outcast, a youth born on a certain day to uncertain parents, will one day unite all the tribes of the Dunmer, drive out the invaders of Morrowind, and re-establish the ancient laws and customs of the Dark Elven nations. They call this orphan and outcast the Nerevarine, and say the Nerevarine will be a reincarnation of the long-dead Dunmer... Oh, my apologies. Dunmer General and First Counselor, Lord Indoral Nerevar. Okay. 6th House. A trusted informant says there is a secret cult associated with some strange events recently, and more important, my informant thinks that these recent disturbances are in some way related to the Nerevarine prophecies. Let's see. But you don't have anything to say about the temple, do you? I suppose this is just one of those things that we'll have to find out on our own, isn't it? Because we could do some mic punching, but we have enough gold at 10, an exchange rate of 10 to go ahead and build up our magic that way. And I feel like we're going to have to do that first, because if we're going to go ahead and fight the Kimono Tong, which I feel like is going to get us some cred in the Thieves Guild. And we also are, established in the other 2 Imperial guilds, and we know the Imperials aren't going to, bat an eye too hard at the killing of these criminals. I don't really think there should be too much of a problem with us killing these guys, but I feel like we need to go ahead and restore our magicka first. And maybe it would also be good to get on the side of the Dunmer in this town by being a part of the temple before causing such chaos. I guess a final... Oh my god! Has anyone else remembered this? Is it still here? Did I leave it here? Did I come back for it at some point? I thought I had too much out. There it is. Oh my god, I literally hit it inside of it. What's my... Oof. Close. Very close. We're at 204 carry capacity out of 225. But I suspect that there must be an alchemist in here. There must be. Oh, the temple also does a lot of restoration and mysticism spells, and maybe we'll find an intervention spell in here. And more beds if we needed a place to stay. Hello, Alirin Faeryn. What do you want, stranger? You don't have anything to say about the temple. What about Morrowind lore? The two criminal guilds here are the Kimono-Tong, the Native Guild, and the Thieves Guild, the Imperial Upstarts. The Kimono-Tong accepts only native Dunmer. The Kimono-Tong has sworn to exterminate the Outlander-dominated Thieves Guild. Yeah, good luck with that. Latest rumors. The Legion champion, various... yeah, okay. It's just another permutation of... Man, everyone...
Make it quick out there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go make it quick, aren't I? Because it seems like everyone knows that he wants those folks fucking dead. My god. He must be desperate if that's how he's acting. Alright. What do we have here? Shrine of Realms and Lothus. I bet the person I need is probably right back there because I didn't check, but I'm already in this direction. So we're gonna go to the top. The very top. Might take a look at a couple of books while we're here, considering I've already been doing some reading. This does seem like it might be, you know, the chapter where Finwë really starts getting into reestablishing himself with the Dunmer culture. If you're not looking at the video right now, you really should take a second and look for a couple of reasons. One, this little relief right here, you see someone leading a bunch of people on what looks like, you know, an exodus or a journey. That's central to how the Dunmer see themselves, and it's reflected in basically everything. Their political structures, their beliefs, everything. Second, look how advanced this culture is. They have domes. You know how fucking difficult this shit is to build, and they have domes in their temples. Very impressive. Jumping for joy for domes. Alright, Telis Savali. What do you want? You're in Balmora, all right. Tell me about Balmora, then. It's the council seat. Right, I know this.
Do you want some?
Yes, I want to know who... Oh, that's right. I have the mod to where all the priests and the masters and everything have these robes. Hello, Feldrello Sadri. Welcome, my child. Do you seek to join the temple? First, tell me your background, because I want to say you're a master. I am Fidello Sadri, monk and master. Right. The masters are... There's that 0 to 9 ranking. There's only ever one at rank 9, and I want to say there's like 4 or 5 masters at rank 8, so that's what she is. If you're a master, you basically get your own entire temple complex to yourself. Yes, master, I would like to join the temple. You have a promising look. Perhaps we could use you. Do you wish to join, or shall you hear our doctrine first? I'll hear the doctrine. Your fourfold duties are to faith, family, masters, and all that is good. Perform holy quests and bring luster to the temple. Oh, that could be fun. And I feel like Finwë's going to be totally into this because these are going to be holy quests from his clan's native culture. Yes. Yes. As he's interacting with Feldrello. Like, that feeling that Finwë had at the beginning, that connection to the culture, to the land, like, it's increasing, and he knows that he made the right decision as he was walking in here. As he was walking in, every step felt correct, and now it's just the culmination of that. Never transgress again. Continuing with the doctrine. Never transgress against your brothers or sisters in thought or deed, as we are all one body. If you somehow fail to uphold these ideals, you must speak with a master or the patriarch to be cleansed of your wrongdoings. Do you still want to join? Yes, I am worthy. You are now a layman in the temple. Welcome, Brother Finwë Indarys. I am one of several masters you can go to for duties, and if you perform well, advancement in the temple is not out of the question. Well, I mean, I'm pretty well advanced in and I imagine all the things you guys like. What are your requirements? The temple admires those who have the personality to lead others and the will to resist the world's temptations. When it cannot be avoided, we fight with staves and hammers, armored only in our faith. We study restoration, and alchemy, and mysticism. Alchemy to heal the people, mysticism to learn more of the divine. We also study conjuration to speak with the spirits of our ancestors, like Mike, and protect against those who traffic with the Four Corners. Now you see, she didn't mention what the Four Corners are, but because I briefly summarized it, that's why this lore is a little bit hard to get into, because it's so interconnected and it's just chopped into pieces. Advancement, have I done anything to help you people? Your talents are noteworthy, but some question the depth of your devotion. Perform more duties. What duties would you have of me? Before I give you any other duties, you should prove your faith by making the pilgrimage of the 7 graces. The 7 graces. Take this book, The Pilgrim's Path. It describes where the pilgrimage sites are. After you've completed these pilgrimages, speak with me again. I should warn you that while most of these are easy, the pilgrimages of the Ghost Gate and the Ruddy Man are more difficult. You may wish to do those last. Challenge accepted, Feldrello, because we have not actually found anything that's been too much of a challenge other than a trapped chest. So, yeah. Alright, what do you think of the Dunmer? We're the dark-skinned, red-eyed elven people of Morrowind. The Westerners call us Dark Elves, but we prefer Dunmer. Morrowind lore? In the olden times, the Daedra were worshipped as gods by the Dunmer, but they didn't deserve this worship since they harmed followers as often as they helped. Indeed. Alright. Well, thank you very much. We're going to go ahead and take a look, and I'm going to take a look and see if there are any religious books that I think would be beneficial for us to review now for appropriate context.
Perhaps I can be of assistance.
I'm going to open the sermon books for the skill increases, because every sermon of Vivek does that. And then I'll give you like a 3-sentence summary, but we can't take them. They're temple property. The 36 Lessons of Vivek, Sermon 14. All right. Yes. This is when Vivek lay with the Demon King of Rape in order to get the Demon King to tell him one of the secrets of the universe. And whenever Vivek married Molag Bal, he left his body with him, but his head left to instruct basically the King of Morrowind. This sermon talks about whenever his head comes back, and from their union, a bunch of monsters emerge, and Vivek kills most of them and throws Molag Bal back into oblivion. A couple of the monsters escape. Vivek's big thing is that he bites off Molag Bal's penis and turns it into a spear, or another reading is Vivek takes his own and turns it into a spear and names it Muatra, and that's what he uses to kill people with. And so later on, if we see statues of Vivek with a spear, oh, perfect. Vivek named his spear Muatra, which is Milk Taker, and even the Chimeri mystics knew his fury. Vivek hunted the biters one by one, and he killed them, and the wise still hide theirs from Muatra. Yeah, there's a lot of penis reference in the 36 lessons. Fellowship of the Temple. Fellowship of the Temple by the Archcanon Tholier Sarioni. I've been asked to write this guidebook for outsiders who are unfamiliar with the temple and interested in joining. All those who are earnest and who are willing to submit to the wisdom of Blessed Almsevi, Triune Grace, the saints and the priests, are welcome to the Fellowship of the Temple. The temple is the religion of Morrowind of the Dunmer people, and has for generation upon generation, which is strange because it was just straight up ancestor worship and worshiping like Mafala in Clan Indarys, but definitely, and Boethia at times, but definitely not the temple. With the guidance and counsel of Almalexia, Vivek, and Sotha the Anticipations, which are three of the demon princes, and all of the hosts and saints of the ancestors, the temple guards and protects the lands and people of Morrowind. And then it just goes into the requirements we just read, where to go ahead and join. Articles of Faith. The temple believes that Almalexia, Vivek, and Sotha were the mortal guardians of Morrowind who walked the earth, defeated the Dunmer's greatest enemies, the Nords and the Dwarves, and achieved divine substance through superhuman discipline and virtue and supernatural wisdom and insight. Like loving ancestors, they guard and counsel their followers. Like stern parents, they punish sin and error. Like generous relatives, they share their bounty among the greatest and the least, according to their needs. Duties of the faithful. Your fourfold duties are faith, family, masters, and good, holy quests, protect the poor and the weak, and honor your elders in the clan. And then there's a list of books that we should get. So I gotta be honest, and I feel like you know this at this point, there's no way that Finway read that and wasn't completely just absolutely enthralled with that. We own the Pilgrim's Path. I don't want to read the prayer books, like, come on. Maybe later, but you don't need all the prayer books read. We're going for, like, context and leveling up. Sermon 34. Vivek kills his final son, born of his union with the King of Rape, in exchange for secret divinity. Vivek goes to kill his son, and the monster looks upset at the idea of dying and asks why he has to return to oblivion, and Vivek said to be otherwise would be to betray your nature, and the monster's like, that's some dog shit. And so Vivek said the following poem: "The fire is mine, let it consume thee, and make a secret door at the altar of Padme, which is change, in the house of Boethia, which is the demon prince of plots, where we become safe and looked after." And at that point, the monster accepts that with a peaceful look, and the sermon concludes. Before all these sermons end with the same phrase. The ending of the words is Almsevi, but the words before that are, "Let this sermon be a consolation to those who read it that are destined to die." Sermon 34 of the Lessons of Vivek. Very good. Jumping for joy at the Lessons of Vivek. Doors of the Spirit. Okay, this is a shorter book. I promise this is a much shorter book. But it's also important because it's one of the few books that deal directly with this idea of ancestor worship, which is absolutely essential for the context of Morrowind. Like, there's the temple and the living gods, but they were like a later thing that came around. Especially like at the time the Dunmer split from the High Elves, it was all about this ancestor worship. Remember, the gods are essentially ancestors. So here we are with the book, The Doors of the Spirit. The ancestors are among us. They are never farther away than the waiting door. The ancestors are not departed. The dead are not under the earth. Their spirits are in the restless wind, in the fire's voice, in the foot-smooth step. Pay heed to these things, and you will know your absent kin. Pay reverence through the gift and prayer. Acquaint the ancestors with your affairs, and with your comings and goings, with your blessings and trials. From the waiting door comes your protection. Heed the spirits who are the guardians of your hearth. teachers of wisdom, counselors of fortune, seers of fate. Each bone is a door through the wall of the world. Each bone is the road with the wisdom and power of the travelers. Each bone is the ghost fence that guards us from evil. Honor the ancestors upon your hearths, within your halls, in the communities of your temple, in the solitude of your tombs. Guard your ancestors from beasts, from thieves, from profane priests and sorcerers. Let no creature steal your spirits, for plundered hearth is the diminished and plundered tomb is shamed. Live in one world with your spirits. Honor the spirits within and without. Do not grieve for the dead. Take shelter in their arms, and pay heed to their words. So that's why we find ash pits all over the place, is because they use them to commune with their ancestors. So it's not just like my own personal backstory. Like, that's the idea. We are summoning an ancestor with spirit summoning, and we're summoning our ancestor Jack with summon skeletal minion. And this is why the Dunmer are royally pissed at the idea of necromancy. You know, the idea of other people coming in and raising the dead. The necromancers respond with, but you guys do necromancy, and it's bullshit that you're saying that we can't.
Go ahead, Outlander. What do you need?
I need to know what your thoughts on this are. What, that they're bound to you by right? That you own your family? I don't know about this. Like, I really enjoy the concept of family, Master, but I don't like the idea of how abusive the family concept can be. That leads to the ultimate destruction of the family, as we have seen in past events. Well, as I've seen in past events. Me, Finwë and Doris. I'm not talking about myself. Shrine of the Tribunal. 5 gold. Holy shit, that's even cheaper than the other one. Yes, Alm Civi Restoration. Boom, absorbed. Back to full magicka. Give me the Soul of Sothasil. What is the Soul of Sothasil? Doesn't matter. I still have Vivek's luck. Thank you. Thank you all. Blessed be the Tribunal and their holy names. Not really being sarcastic. Like, I feel like Finwë would actually be bowing on the way out. You're supposed to bow at, like, every scripture door, if I remember correctly in this culture. And there's the ash pit, see? That's where they put all their dead, so they can. You're supposed to come here and kneel on these things and commune with your ancestors and report on the shit you've been doing. Because a lot of Morrowind was drawn on Eastern culture. Yeah, never mind. Oh, I keep seeing torches everywhere, and we need torches. It's raining. It is. We'll hide in this little archway. Alright, ooh, no, we're gonna go back in here. We have one final book to read as we lounge about on, you know, the master's bed while they're not here. And then I think we're gonna go ahead and, we're gonna go to the Mages Guild, sleep for the night, round out today, now that we've fully, indoctrinated ourselves within the temple. And then I feel like the next chapter of Finwë's life is both, one, completing, hopefully something more worthwhile in the Mages Guild, and then 2, he's going to go ahead and talk to people in the Fighters Guild, but I feel like just knowing that Caius has a contact that, like, that deep into it to where we're like, go get information from him, he's a little bit off-put about working with that guild, or even kind of the Mages Guild, at least here he doesn't like the Fighters Guild or the Mages Guild, because it seems like Caius has his fingers definitely in the Fighters Guild, and he recommended the Mages Guild to us. Anyway, the final book of the evening, The Pilgrim's Path, because I imagine, eventually he'll make his way around to doing these things. He's definitely going to Ghost Gate, because, the challenge. The pilgrim must visit each of the shrines of the 7 graces. At each site, the pilgrim must stand before the 3-sided stone trilith and read the inscription. I'm not going to read this whole book. If you're looking at it right now, we're just going to go ahead and read the Ghost Gate, and then we are moving on. And I will read the other ones as we choose to go to them, because all of these have been marked on our map now. So, at each shrine, the pilgrim must stand before the trilith, read the inscription to ease the pilgrim's task. The temple made this list. The blessings of each shrine last half a day. Okay. The Ghost Fence, Shrine of Pride. The Ghost Fence is a lasting symbol of the indomitable will and the power of Alm Sivi, which is Alm Alexia, Sotha Sil, and Vivek all mushed together, and a monument to... So, if John, if you're watching this, remember how you, me, and Kelly are essentially one person? That one guy in Indiana told us? I've been trying to come up with a fun little mashup of our names like this, but it really doesn't sound good. Anyway, and a monument to Dunmer pride in overcoming its enemies. The Shrine of Pride is found within the Ghost Fence, just northeast of Ghostgate itself. The safest route to Ghostgate is along the Foyota Mamea, a volcanic ravine running blah 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 blah. Any journey inside the Ghost Fence is dangerous, but even the most timid pilgrim should be able to stay safe so long as he does not stray too far from the Ghost Gate and flees from any minions of Dagothur. Right, the threat that's causing the blight, which is like a sickness. When you address the shrine, it's customary to leave a soul gem. Oh, that's right, I have a soul gem to sell. In remembrance of our ancestors who were bound to the tribunal service. Very good. Okay. Well, with that, and with remembering the soul gem, it's going to happen. It has to happen. It's a Morrowind classic. It's not going to be as profitable, but we're going to go ahead and round out by doing this quest for the Thieves Guild, because it's one of the only guilds that has not referred to anyone in the Brethren context. So, and they've established that this is like a cutthroat sort of academic setting. This is foreshadowing. I hope that everyone who's played this game before is excited about this, because I always love this bit.
Is there something I can do for you?
No. No, there isn't. Blessed be you, sister, in the name of Om Sivi, Ranus. Yes. Sorry, I was thinking about how I needed to slow down, and I just did it again. I need to slow down how quickly I turn. Finally, I just remembered something. We don't need to buy a spear.
I suppose I have a moment. What is it?
We can buy a bound spear. It's only for 15 seconds. Cost 25 magicka, because I'm tired. 84% chance to cast. Let's see it. Alright, so this spear, 6 to 42 is what it hits, compared to our 6 to 24. But it also raises our spear effect by, I want to say by 10. Is it not? Oh my god, this fucking bound spear. Oh, Morrowind Rebirth. It used to be that bound spear would increase your spear effect as well, like your spear effectiveness. But jumping for joy at having bound spear, I want to see what it would look like to make one that's a little bit longer, because 15 seconds is kind of dog shit. Alright, but it's got to be something we can reasonably cast in a shitty situation, not end up screwed. Okay, so I'm going to accept 75% chance for a duration of 31 seconds. If I can't kill something with that spear in 31 seconds, then I kind of deserve it. Alright, so we're also going to name this A. Anything I make myself is getting the A in front of it, so it's easy to find. And we're going to name it Muatra 2.0. This was not intentional to get the bound spear after reading the Muatra bit. It's just, like I said, thanks to Vivek's, penis obsession, we're going to be, spears come up a lot in Morrowind culture. I should have actually read that sermon, because one of my favorite passages in it is they take their spears out and compare them. Yes. It's not even trying to be subtle.
Greetings.
All right. Yes.
What exactly
Jumping for
do you
joy at having a
require of
custom
me?
spell. And
Go ahead.
hello,
I'm listening.
Ajira.
Speak freely.
Yes, duties. You had a bet with Gabrir. You want me to give her this fake soul gem? Yes. Ajira has made a fake soul gem. Take it and put it in Galbadir's desk upstairs. Galbadir should be coming downstairs to talk with Marvin Deren, so no one should see you do this thing. Oh, you sneaky little Khajiit, I'm in. Jumping for joy at this little tiny Thieves Guild addition to the Mages Guild. This is really some cutthroat research here.
Do you want something
No,
from me?
I just want you to go downstairs with your weird hair horns. Quick save. No, I'll drop a regular save here in a minute. Alright, so here's the deal. We're taking all this shit, all of it. Thank you. We can never trade with her again, of course. And we have a slight chance of opening this, but not much. But we're gonna try. Nope. One more try. Nope. We suck. Anything else worth taking up here? I'll take your gold. I'll take your scroll. I'll take all your shit, Galbadir. I'll take your Song of the Alchemist. I'll take that. And now I'll put this fucking soul gem in. Fake soul gem. Fake soul gem. Wait a minute. There we are. Oh, right, the training. That's why I'm down to 300. Shit. Whatever. We have some more capital to sell. Have the ingredients regenerated? No. Has the free stuff regenerated? No. Jira, I hope you actually have something for me. Goodbye, Miss Horn Lady.
How do you do?
Oh, I'm doing just well. My pockets are a little
I
bit
see
heavier.
Hello. I suppose I have a moment. What is it?
I don't have a moment for you, I'm sorry. Hello, Ajira. Has Finway and Doris put the fake soul gem in Galbadir's desk? You have put the gem in desk as Ajira asked. Ajira thanks you. You're welcome, Ajira. Ajira must now study local flowers. Yes, Ajira must study flowers now. Ajira needs sample of gold cannet, stoneflower, willow anther, and heather. These can all be found on the shores of Lake Amaya. Lake Amaya? To get to Lake Amaya, go southeast out of Balmora, past the Moonmoth Fort. Follow the signs to Balagiad. After you cross the Foyoda, go to Saran. We're not doing that. We're going to go ahead and go back to Sietanin and go through that little passageway that's right on the border of the two biomes. So, thanks,
Why is
Ajira.
my friend here?
Jumping for joy at the idea that I might just now get promoted to Journeyman after doing that little sneaky duty. God, I hope that counts. I really, really do. And, if it does, I'll get to be Journeyman before you, Ajira. Oh, Galbadir. I like that she's going back up there. If I recall, in Vanilla Morrowind should just freeze whenever the quest ended. What do you want, apprentice? Do I get advancement? I'm the Journeyman! Yay!
I help
Alright,
you?
what's the next thing? What do I get next? The Evoker. Ooh, I'm a Journeyman now. Do you have duties for me? She'll do it now that I'm a Journeyman. I don't have to do these bullshit flower missions if I don't want to. I mean, I will, but I don't have to. I need someone to convince an ex-Telvanni to join us. So, the Telvanni is one of the three great houses, obviously. They're the magic house. The Lalu, obviously, are the economy house. And, the Redoran are the warrior house. While you're there, you can collect Monway's guild dues. Guessing that's an Altmer. Also, that's a name from Tolkien. That's the chief of, essentially, the gods. Alright, tell me about this Telvanni to join us. The Telvanni's name is Larararar Belaroth. He's in Sulipund. If you can't convince him to join, kill him. When you're there, collect the guild dues from Monway. She's in Punabi nearby. Where's Sulipund? Sulipund is farther along the trail from Punabai. Okay. Where's Punabai? I'm going to take a picture of this with my phone because I'm going to forget this shit. Leave Balmora, going towards towards Fort Moonmoth to the east. Cross the old Dwemer Bridge to the north of the fort that leads into the Molaga Moor. Go past the blah 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 blah. Okay. She's basically saying go to the stronghold, this ancient Dunmer stronghold. It's marked on our map. Head north along the path. Punabai will be on our right, and Sulipund's farther along on the left. I should be able to remember that. I've done this so many times. My phone tracks her face. I love that. But now, digital records. All right. What do you think about this bet with Galbadir? It doesn't surprise me, she says. All right. Jumping for joy at the fact that we really have established our cover identity, because now the steward in the Mages Guild here is personally giving us orders. But we're going to go ahead. We're going to go ahead and, sleep it off in the Fighters Guild.
May I help you?
And I think this is where this chapter of Finway's new life in Morrowind will conclude. And I think the music agrees with me. He's had a full day. He's become so much more invested, I feel like, in the Mages Guild now with that promotion and receiving orders directly from the steward. He's connected to the Tribunal Temple. The only thing that's souring things is where he's at right now is the Fighters Guild, because he knows now. He knows that there's someone that Caius, has favors with, or just something here. And, if there's anything that spoils it, it's that.
It's the strangest
because
book I've ever read.
He's never forgotten. Please quit interrupting me, ma'am. He's never forgotten that it was the Blades that brought him to this, to this turn of events. Without his family, without his clan, 10 to 15 years later after being in prison all that time. But, how he handles that, how he deals with Caius's informant will be, the subject of the next chapter of his life. And with that, I will leave you all. Thank you all for stopping by. I'd like to remind you all to like, subscribe, click the bell button. That way you know when the next chapter does come out. If you're from back home and, I haven't said your name on here, I'm sorry. Just text me and let me know that you're watching it. And if there's other friends from back home that you think would like this, I'm going to text Logan here soon and let him know. But just let him know, because I really miss you guys, and I feel like this is a good way to keep in touch a little bit. So yes, until then, friends old and new, safe journeys.